Hey everybody, this is Christopher Talon, host of Creative Ops, a podcast for creative people by creative people. This podcast is made possible in part by Rivertown Adventures, the place to go for fun outdoors in Lansing, Michigan. They've got everything you need to have fun out on the waterways. rivertownadventures.com. Check them out. This show is also brought to you by Baby Farm Soaps out of Berea, Kentucky. They've got organic ingredients. It's not just soaps. It's hand creams, face creams, chapsticks, sunscreens, bath bombs, all kinds of stuff. And they can even customize your labels for free. So go check them out. They're on Facebook, Baby Farm Soaps. Today, I interviewed Zach Snyder, a very talented local artist and recently college professor. He's a young guy with a lot of talent, big future. You can check out his murals on Instagram at SneedArt. We talked a lot about his process, how he got into teaching in college, even though he's just a few years out himself, and just talked and had fun. Enjoy this interview with Zach Snyder. I want to talk to you about your art, about your style, about your creative process, but I'm really interested in this new thing that you got going on with the college adjunct professorship that you got going on. How did that come about? Because you strike me as a dude that's only been out of college for a little while. You look young.
I'm 24. So I am recently graduated from Grand Valley. And I started pursuing art probably when I was like 10. And just went to school for it after high school because, I started really getting into it and people were being very supportive of it. And yeah, it gave me the drive to keep going. So I went to JC. My professor, Tom McMillan Oakley at the time, he was a really good mentor of mine. So he kind of, after the fact of me going to Grand Valley and pursuing drawing and stuff, we kind of like kept in touch, and he became a friend and helped me through some hard times. And um, yeah, he's a great art professor, and I contacted him after I filled out the application and everything, and a couple days later I got an email back. And
So that was something that you reached out and pursued. You wanted to be a teacher.
Yes. Yep. I just finished up my last commission a couple of days ago and just looking for a part-time job because I'm about to move. So
Are you trying to get out of the West Michigan area?
actually I'm in Jackson right now.
Oh yeah, that's right, because that's where the college is that you're.
Yep. So I'm at home right now. I'm actually looking at all my stuff right now because I was supposed to move into a house like on the 9th, and that didn't happen because the landlord is a joke. But anyway,
I've been there, man. I know how that goes.
Oh my gosh, he screwed us so hard. But yeah, just looking for that stability and everything, and I have a lot of ambition to teach,
Yeah.
to have like a good steady income. I need insurance, just stuff like that.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a writer. That's my creative outlet, number one. And I've taught writing to kids like middle school mostly. And I feel like you can teach a kid to write because there's just some basics that everybody can pick up on. But when it comes to art, it's like, some people just have a natural talent. They pick up a pencil the first time and it's just like, damn. But
Yeah.
how do you try to instill what you know into somebody who maybe doesn't have that same level of talent without getting like so frustrated? Like, how come you can't just do it?
See, that's the thing I've never taught before. That's like I have no teaching experience. I'm just like a very personable person.
Yeah.
So like I have the confidence to be able to explain the fundamentals and stuff because there are like you can break down everything into like fundamentals, like there's shapes, like everything's made out of shapes, circles,
Right.
squares, triangles. And before you can even learn to draw, you need to like get those basics down of just seeing it differently and yeah, learning the tools that you're using. And
Yeah. Yeah, I took a
drawing from
2D,
imagination
I
too.
think it was like a 2D drawing class in college. I didn't do well in it.
What did you learn? What is the takeaway from that?
Well, honestly, I that was the first time I went to school when I was 18, and then I joined the military, and then I went back to school. So the first time I was there, I might as well not have even been there. But
Really?
but yeah, no, but taking those classes though, oh shoot, I lost the thread that I was going on. Don't worry, I'll move on. You said that you started really getting into art when you were 10.
Yeah, that's roughly in like fifth grade, sixth grade.
Okay, so for me, I started getting into writing when my grandma would babysit me at her place, and she had a little typewriter. She'd give me a typewriter and be like, "Why don't you write me a story?" And then I would start like typing out stories while she was cleaning around the house or, you know, watering the flowers. What got you into drawing and painting?
That's a good question. So there's a couple kids that I liked in school, and they were like always drawing and stuff. One kid had a sketchbook that he just like filled with cartoon characters
Yeah,
and just filled it all page by page, and it was really inspiring. And then I was like, I can do that because I was always the kid that was like, I can do that, and I'd always try. And yeah, so I started drawing, and I eventually drew a Halo book cover, like a Spartan from a Halo,
yeah,
the Halo game series.
right.
I was in sixth grade and I drew a Spartan, and after that, I was like, all right, I can do this.
All right. Well, I dig that you got the video game connection there too. People can't see, but
Yeah,
I'm
oh
wearing
yeah,
a Nintendo controller hat. Um,
oh yeah, dude.
from that point on, were you pretty much dialed in, or did you kind of discover it like in high school or when you were forced to pick a major in college?
Oh, dude, I'm still discovering it. I didn't grow up painting, so like all these murals I'm painting and stuff are relatively new.
Really?
Um, yeah, I didn't like start painting until my senior year of college.
What was your
So
focus
like
before that then?
pen and ink, illustration. So I went to school because I wanted to get better at digital stuff. I wanted to learn Photoshop. I went for graphic design, and then after I finished foundations, I was like, I'm really just drawing illustration style stuff. So I switched to illustration, and that's a people don't know the difference between that. Like graphic design is more vector based, clean cut designs, where
Uh-huh.
illustration tells a story. It's usually stylistic,
Mhm.
um, weird. Anything can be illustration.
Well, it's interesting that you say that your first draw was no pun intended, sorry. But you were first drawn to like more illustrating and stuff because I'm looking at your portfolio on your website right now. And
Nice.
if I had to describe what I see in terms of just a style to somebody without actually, them seeing it too, I would say that it's got almost kind of a comic booky impressionism. I mean, I'm not a trained artist,
Yeah.
but like,
No, dude. I'm glad that
I've just
you're.
thrown out a couple of the terms I do know. but
Yeah.
like, but there was something about it that I thought like, man, this almost seems like it was kind of pulled from the style of comic books. Did that have any influence on you at all?
No, I never really liked comics. Um, I would just doodle a lot,
Yeah.
and so what really got me going, like my style and the way that I draw is this dude named Peter draws on YouTube. He's
Peter
like,
draws. Okay.
yeah, he does like a lot of automatic drawing stuff, and I kind of picked up on that myself. He had a video of like how to draw abstract, and I followed that, and everything just kind of like led to me trying my own thing, and I yeah just developed the confidence in it, and man,
That's
I've
it's
made a lot
amazing
of
to me
stuff.
that you started painting your senior year of college. I just want to
Yeah,
make sure I
I
heard
mean,
that right.
yeah, like hardcore painting, but like I had tried like acrylic here and there,
Uh-huh.
just like on a whim, but like never oils, never like yeah, just a single night in my bedroom. Those were the paintings that I would do,
Yeah.
and then I'd never touch them again. But then I took a painting class, and I had like a huge studio, and we learned how to build our own canvases, and I was able to make like a 4 foot by 5 foot canvas, and I ended up making three of those. And then I painted that for like 2 semesters. And then that was my senior show.
Yeah, I remember actually seeing a couple, I think, pictures from the senior show on your Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Dude,
Um,
it's so crazy because like I don't know you, I've never met you, but
right.
like you've seen a lot of my stuff, and like I'm getting used to that. So
Yeah.
very cool.
Well, yeah, it's weird having a presence where anybody can look you up and you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm like, should I get my decal on my car? I'm like, I don't want people knowing what I drive.
What happened between you graduating from Grand Valley and then you getting your first commission? Because a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing on the website is the stuff that you do on the inside of buildings. Would you call those murals?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, murals.
Okay. I mean, sometimes people think of a mural as just like a small part of a wall that has a painting on it, but you completely transformed everything except for like the floor into art in these places.
Yeah.
So
Well, that kind of. Go ahead, sorry, dude.
no. I think you were probably going to go ahead and answer the question I was going to ask. How did you step into that world of that kind of commissioned art?
So that just kind of happened. So I met this woman who eventually brought me into the hospital. Who my hospital mural.
Uh-huh.
I did a mural for Henry Ford at Legion's Health. So that kind of was my first like extended space mural, and I had done like
But how'd you even get into that? Was it somebody that knew you from school, or somebody just kind of randomly saw something on
so.
Instagram? Or
So my girlfriend knew this woman, and this woman wanted a children's book, so that's how she got a hold of me.
okay,
And then she saw my style, and then they wanted a mural in this tunnel in the hospital that she worked at, so she referred me, and then all that happened. And I kind of just like was like, yeah, I can do it. No problem. I'll paint this whole hallway because it's a process that I've like nailed down to where it's not like I need a subject matter.
right,
I can just paint on anything.
yeah,
It's more like a design aesthetic kind of thing.
yeah.
So just really a couple connections and like confidence and being qualified, I guess.
At this point in time, if anybody's listening and is like, well, I want to see this stuff too, you can go to sneedartdesigns.com, SNEED artdesigns.com, and see all kinds of stuff. And probably from there, they can also find social media contacts and stuff, right?
Yep. Sneader is like the thing on Instagram.
Check out at Sneedart on Instagram too. I'll have all the links up. But these things look, like you said, not complicated in the way that you have to really think, well, there's going to be a person here and a tree there. But you've got all this space, walls that bend, windows, doors, ceilings, things that, you turn a corner and you don't really see the whole picture that's on this side. How do you plan it out? You just kind of do like one 10 by 10 foot space at a time and then kind of keep building, or do you have one grand vision that you bring together somehow?
The way that I work is I like space it out a little bit. So I jump forward, jump back. So like I'll have paint on the walls halfway down the project, but I'll really still be working at like the first half of it
Uh-huh.
or like the first quarter of it. I also kind of work with those fundamentals of design
Yeah.
to figure out what colors I'm going to put where and like what size of a circle I'm going to put or stuff like that. And
So you're trying to work with ratios and spaces that you've got from like wall to ceiling,
yeah,
wall to wall, where there's a door here, kind of thing.
yeah. And also that hallway, the two hallways that I've painted were both this year. And those were by far the biggest things that I've done.
Yeah, they're impressive. I recommend anybody who hasn't seen them go check it out because it's it's a sight. And you did it all of it by yourself, or did you have people like coming in and being like, you paint this part red and this part?
No, it was all me.
Ooh, that looks like it took a long time.
Yeah, it took a couple months
Oh, of like going in there like a couple
every
days a
day,
week, every day.
every day. Yeah.
Dang.
Because I was doing that full time.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it was just like they had weird hours. So I could only work like 4 hours a day. So I
Mm.
really just tried to fill the space as much as I could. And they were just like, you know what, you can paint whatever you want. So I, I took advantage of that, of course. And I like kind of got a little bit to a point where I was like, oh man, now I have to do this or else it's gonna look bad. So then I like painted the whole ceiling and all that. And that was at True North Collective, that project that we're talking about.
Was
Um,
that all one building? Because I see like two different paint schemes, or at least color schemes here.
yeah, so the lighter blue one, the one that has a lighter blue background,
Mhm.
that one was at Henry Ford Allegiance Health, and
Okay.
then the one that is like the ceiling is painted. That one was at True North Collective, which is a growing facility in Jackson.
Yeah. I saw your art for the first time at a dispensary here in West Michigan. Is that a community that's actively been seeking you out since, since working with well, which one of those two came first, 315 or the True North?
315, yep.
Did that
And
kind of get
then
you in with that community or not really?
no, no, dude, it's crazy how these things have just been happening. So I went to school with a guy named John, and he works at 315. So he got me into 315, and then the guys at True North were local, so I knew a few of them and had met them before, and had thrown around the idea previously, and then it actually came to be, which was really cool. Because honestly, I'm still talking with 315 about doing another mural with them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of word of mouth.
Would you say most of your business comes that way or
Yeah,
because
100%. And like murals and my illustration style are both different.
okay.
So like the way I approach an illustration is different than the way I approach a mural, or like a logo is different than a drawing that I would do.
Is it just because of the size and scope of it, or is it just a different mindset doing one versus the other?
It's just a different mindset. Murals, I feel like it's more of like, all right, I need to fill this space, and it's more of about the colors and shapes rather than the imagery.
Right.
But that's because it's in a hallway and it's like you can't step back and look at it. It's more of something that you have to like experience and like be
Yeah.
walking through, you know?
Uh-huh.
Whereas like a mural is more on the side of the wall where you see it and you're driving by.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's more,
that's why I was hesitant to call it a mural because I feel like a
yeah,
mural is
it's
kind of a more simplified, condensed thing.
yeah, it's a different space for, or a different type of illustration for a different space, you know?
Do you have a dream project as far as do you wanna be somebody who works in comic books? Does designs for covers for books? What's your dream?
Man, it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's definitely bigger than that stuff. It's like I kind of see it being more as like a brand and like an identity kind of thing.
Yeah. Having a hand in a couple
Cause
of things.
yeah, cause like dude, I want to get into like woodworking and
Hmm.
like wood burning. I used to do. There's some people like Felipe Pantone and what's the other guy's name? She's super colorful, isn't it? I think it's like Okudo or something.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, um,
If you don't know, I for sure don't know.
yeah. So there's a bunch of artists that do work with like Nike, like James Jean. Have you heard of James Jean?
No, but I mean, if he's doing like Nike stuff, I've probably seen the work before.
So James Jean has done work with Prada. He's one of those legends that like is just amazing at everything, and
Yeah.
everybody knows his work. And he designed Gucci bags and like designed the stuff for the photo shoot, designed the dresses they were wearing.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is what I want to be. It's more of like a creative director
Yeah.
while also like still being able to create on my own time,
Mhm.
because I feel like I have the capacity for a lot more if I had like a team
Right.
or had more collaboration, I guess. That's why I'm excited to teach,
Yeah.
because it'll also help me keep learning.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing is you can't teach something if you don't know it very, very well yourself. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, and the things that I don't know how to teach is I'll learn.
Yeah, that's one thing that when I was a teacher, I used to tell people, and I don't know if that would really help in art, but when you're studying something, teach another person and then have them teach you because just the act of teaching it solidifies
Hmm.
it in a way that traditional learning doesn't.
Yeah, sketchbooks are a big thing for me. So I can show you since we're on video, but
Yeah.
that's where like
Yeah, I saw
it's
one of your later posts. You're gonna be doing some sketchbook stuff.
yeah, dude. I want to get into like because I was supposed to move, and I had plans of getting like a studio with video and all that stuff ready to go. But like this is where I go to like play around with ideas,
Yeah,
get familiar with perspective, and get familiar with things. And I don't draw from reference. The faces and stuff that I'll learn, I'll like take little bits of information from like videos I watch and then apply it to my own process. And it really helps in developing your proportions and stuff.
yeah,
Because like once you go to school, you learn all about like the real strict academic drawing. And
yeah,
that's all from observation with rulers, with sight, like viewfinders and stuff. You can only draw with your arm. So there's a lot to it that students need to understand when approaching being an artist, you know?
yeah. And a lot of that sounds like it's kind of like a almost like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. You do something just to kind of learn the right way to do it, and then later you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the first step is like you gotta understand how a pencil draws, you know?
Yeah,
There's different densities of pencils, 4B all the way up to 4H, and like everything in between there goes from hard to soft. There's so much to understand just in pencils, just in inks. Like, oh my gosh.
yeah,
The tools matter, the fundamentals matter, and that's the stuff that like you have to teach before you can really develop a style or anything.
yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back.
Well, no, I know what you mean though. Like it's the same thing. Writing and painting obviously are two different things. They're enjoyed differently. They're made differently, but the process behind them is the same. And everybody's got a style, but you don't really know what your style is. You don't know how to feel your
Yeah.
style until you've felt other people's styles.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do what we did in school. We had to do a bunch of research on other artists, and
Yeah.
what I've found the best way to develop your style is to stray away from observation drawing
Mm.
and just learn how to draw yourself, you know? Obviously invest yourself just into art. You know, I was on DeviantArt when I was a kid, just looking at all those manga art stuff,
Yeah.
pretty pony shit. Like that was all on there, and it was just this weird niche of art, and it like helped me learn. Just gotta keep doing it, keep trying it, have fun with it.
Yeah. I'm curious, just generally, but also for personal reasons. My oldest kid is a freshman in college now, and she's studying art, and she's
Dude, I
talented.
thought you were like 27.
Well, I am still kind of young. I'm 37. So,
Oh,
so yeah, I've got a
still
19.
young.
I'm 37. You can do the math. But yeah, she's going to college right now, freshman year, studying art, and she's really talented, drawn by hand, painting, but she kind of also wants to get into like some of the computer art stuff.
Yeah.
What's your advice to kids who are looking at art programs or in an art program and they're like, I want to do art for a career? Do you have advice or like, because I mean, I know anytime you get into a creative field, it's kind of a hustle. So
Yeah, it is very
um,
much so.
yeah. So yeah, do you have advice for people like there's some classes you should take whether you want to or not, and they're this, or when you get out, you need to start talking to people like this,
Yeah, so it's really you better be comfortable with talking to people. There's different niches, of course.
which can be a
So
problem because
like
a lot of artists are kind of withdrawn folks.
exactly. So it depends on what kind of artist you want to be. Like there's a place for everybody because obviously there's artists that are super introverted and like really nerdy and into the games and into the entertainment stuff. And those are all the people that move out to LA
Yeah,
and work in the studios and stuff and draw Family Guy and or draw Peter Griffin like frame by frame, like just
yeah,
like clockwork. And or you could go to a gallery and you could be a gallery artist, but that's like really, really, really hard.
right,
Or you could be an artist who like designs furniture or like architecture's art.
yeah,
Um, but my main advice would be like definitely invest in social skills and take business seriously.
yeah,
Definitely, you have to be a business person as well.
right.
I mean,
Is that
I'm speaking from my own
in art
experience.
students? I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but I It seems like, and I never got an art education, so that's why I'm asking. Um, Obviously, they're going to teach you all the things to make you the best artist you can be. But did they prep you for like how to try to push that art into the real world, or not really?
Um, I'd say they do a good job at like because obviously there's years and years of stuff
Yeah.
that you'd have to do outside of a curriculum, but they teach you how to reach out to people and stuff. But um, as far as like the business stuff, there wasn't that much time spent on that.
Yeah.
And especially in an illustration course, I feel like it was all tailored toward the entertainment part of it because my professor came from like the comic book scene and
Mhm.
traditional illustration and all that. So it lacked a little bit. There's like the senior level classes was when and where you got into it. So it was just like a couple classes
Yeah.
and it was very broad. It wasn't
It wasn't like specific how to survive as an
no
artist.
how to go to the IRS website and like how to file your taxes. Like
Yeah.
we did talk about that, but like man, nobody was doing it at the time, so it just didn't sink in.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing I want to bring to the whole teaching thing is just like a different approach while also trying to like stick to the traditional stuff of drawing. I don't know. It's still early.
Um,
How's my audio, by the way? How are
it
these AirPods doing?
doesn't sound too bad. Does the speaker run through those too? Like, is
No.
there in there?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm listening to you on these and
Okay.
talking to you through these as well. I
Yeah, no,
think.
not bad. So, what else, or are you completely done with all your projects besides like preparing for the school stuff right now, or do you have anything else in the works?
Yeah, pretty much all completed. I do have to get back and finish the hospital because that's not done. I had to stop that because of COVID.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, because it's actually kind of funny you talk about that. Just yesterday, I interviewed two nurses, and we were talking about all the COVID stuff. So, yeah, did they completely lock you out of the hospital for a while, or were you able to come in like at certain times with like masks and a face shield?
no, I'm still not working. I just haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I was asked to leave because all external contractors had to leave at the start of COVID, and yeah, I haven't heard anything back. So
Hmm. Well, the school that you're teaching at, are you going to be doing in-person classes?
no, it's all going to be online. It's going to be really interesting, dude. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know what to expect.
that seems like an environment, though, where at least you'd hope that most kids are going to get pretty invested into it. And anytime you've got that hand to paper connection, scientifically speaking, it's like meditation. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a problem, like keeping people engaged and paying attention. But I do wonder what it would be like to be a talented artist who's putting your heart and soul into something, and you might have a kid who's only there because his parents were like, "You have to go to college."
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing about art school. It's like there's going to be the kids that are serious about it, and not just art school, but let me back up. The classes that I'll be teaching
Yeah,
are classes that I took 5 years ago,
right.
which is crazy. But
Yeah, because you said you're going to be
also
teaching like kind of like
drawing
1 to 200
one,
level drawing classes, right?
yep, and that fulfills a credit that anybody can take.
Yeah,
So
yeah, like me when I was a student at Paris and flunked it out.
yep, exactly. So it's really just going to be focusing on the kids that are clearly there to try and like
Yeah,
really want it.
yeah. Well, you seem like you've got a good personality for it. Like,
Thanks, man. I
yeah,
like to think
pretty
that I'm very
pretty even keel.
yeah, and I'm very I like to talk to people. I was a camp counselor. I mean, yeah, I just like people, like talking to people, like hearing about people's lives and helping people,
Yeah.
hearing
So
stories and telling stories.
so besides art, what kind of stuff do you get into? You part of any groups, any other like creative or artistic communities, or?
No. It's dude, it's like since COVID started, it's a whole new world.
Yeah,
I feel
really.
like life is a whole new thing now. And um, I when I was in school, I was in a backpacking club, so we went and traveled a lot and really learned how to like survive
Yeah.
because it was hard hiking and backcountry camping.
Oh, dude, I
Um,
love that stuff. I love it.
yeah, but nowadays it's really just like video games and drawing in my sketchbook.
Yeah.
I just bought an Alienware Ryzen edition, and
I don't know what that is. It sounds cool, but
yeah, it's just a gaming computer, just a
oh,
gaming
okay. All right.
computer. So
What kind of
yep.
gaming do you do?
Well, I grew up playing World of Warcraft, so I like play that here and there.
People get serious
And
about that, man. I was in the military for a couple of years, and one time when we were in Spain getting ready to leave to go to Iraq, this one dude who was crazy about World of Warcraft, like he would buy World of Warcraft gold. He would spend hundreds of dollars buying
my God,
gold in World
no,
of Warcraft.
that's not me, bro.
Yeah. And
That's
this
not
dude
me
almost missed the plane to Iraq. Like we had to
because
go
he was a.
get him and drag him out. We're like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, sorry, man. I was up until 7 a.m. playing World of Warcraft. And he
Oh
had like an
my
empty Mountain Dew
God,
bottle sitting on the bed next to his computer.
Jesus.
So that wasn't you though. You didn't go on like marathon, like 36
No,
World of Warcraft sessions.
no. It's more of like 'cause I don't watch TV. I feel like the time I spend, like people spend watching TV, is the time I spend playing video games.
Yeah,
But I don't stay up all night and do all that. It's
yeah.
like
Well,
I like
obviously,
Rocket League.
looking at your list of accomplishments here, that you're not a guy who just sits around and does nothing. But
Yeah, dude, that like hearing that from somebody that I don't know, like that feels so good. Like, because it's so easy for artists to just think like, oh, dude, I'm so lazy. I'm not doing enough. Like,
oh yeah,
or at least me, like that's how I feel like on a daily.
oh,
Um,
bro, that's how I am all day long. I started
yeah,
I started doing
real
this
thing.
after a little while of writing full time when I stopped teaching because we had ended up having 4 kids. That fourth one was not planned. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to take some time off because my wife makes a lot more money than I do. And then while I was doing that, I started writing and I was like, I'm just going to do this, man.
So you're a freelance writer?
So yeah, freelance
Wow,
writing
good for you.
and started doing this podcast. And yeah,
Nice, dude. So
it's,
when were you out of the military?
I was in from 2004 to 2009.
Okay,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, it was
Nice
all right.
in and
Paid for
out.
college.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah, dude. That's another thing that has helped me immensely in my career is like my college was like I'm not like I'm not hurting financially from my education. Thank
yeah,
God. Thank
right.
the Lord. Oh my God.
Did you have some good grants or did Grand
Um,
Valley just didn't charge exorbitant amounts?
well, FAFSA, grants,
Yeah.
family, just like I worked too. I
Yeah.
did a work study, so yeah, family helped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just like,
it's nice to have a good support group. Um,
yep, for sure. So I'm blessed, man.
yeah.
Yeah. So your daughter's going to college for drawing or art.
I'm not even sure exactly if it's studio art or if it's graphic design. I know right now she's doing a class where she's drawing a lot of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, if she has any questions, man, reach out. Um,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
if,
dude. Well, check out my Instagram too cuz the last one I posted was a couple pencil drawings of hers.
what is it?
It's tight stuff, man. I'm Christopher_Talon on Instagram.
Oh, dude. So, all right, I was wondering who you were commenting on my stuff, dude.
Because I was like,
All
I came up
right.
to and I was like, yeah, I've been following you on Instagram. I'm like, okay, which guy is this?
Yeah. So there's sweet. All right, cool. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, man. Putting the face to the random
Yeah, dude, because usually it's people I know, and that's the hard thing about social media. It's like I don't know who's seeing it, but all I see a lot of the time are the people that I know.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know how many people I that follow me have been following me, you know.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been doing like social media pretty like aggressively with the whole Sneed designs and stuff, Sneed art designs?
It's been a long time. I've always been posting,
Yeah.
um, but I don't think I've taken it very seriously because I think if I did, I'd have the following that like some people do on there
Yeah.
because it's like all the algorithm stuff now, and that stuff is just
I
like
don't know how some people do it, man, because like I've seen people
it's
who
science.
like I don't have a book out yet, so if I have a book out, maybe that would help draw people to me. But like I know
Yeah.
people who have like a book out and they've got 4,000 followers. I'm like, how do you have 4,000 followers? They're like, I do it every day, bro. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
Wow. Yeah, it's like it's a ritualistic thing, and that's like a lot of within myself. It's a struggle because I hate social media,
Yeah.
but it's so essential for people to follow me and see my work. You know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Same thing with this podcast. Like first couple episodes of
Yeah,
the podcast, it was just people that I knew that listened or people that knew the guest. But now I'm starting to get people to go, "Hey, this is a cool podcast." I'm like, "I don't know you, but that's cool. Thanks."
yeah, dude. Do you know anybody that like works at 315, or
Nope, nope.
you just saw my work in there
I just
and
went in there and I was waiting and I thought, man, that's really cool. And I was waiting and I was waiting. Saw at Sneed Art, looked it up, thought all that
nice.
was really cool. Started following, started liking.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's very cool because it's like now option that somebody gets a hold of me that doesn't have any contact with somebody that I know.
Well, the
So
more stuff that you keep putting up on walls, the more the more you're gonna get it.
yeah, and the more people you talk to, the more you're gonna grow. So that's super cool because it's like just how my work grows too. It's like people I talk to, people I meet, and people
Yeah.
that I like. You know, they stay
Well,
around, and
and I don't know how involved you are with the art community around here, but I know like I follow a couple artists that you also follow. Oh geez, I'm trying to think of their names now. Uh, who is it? Isla Rose.
oh, bro,
I think her handle's Isla Rose Art on Instagram. She's
she
really
from
cool.
GR.
Yeah. And then there was another girl too who was on the cover of Grand Rapids magazine. She painted a bunch of that Breonna Taylor stuff. Sorry to interrupt this podcast, but I had to say Isla Rose is from Oregon, not Grand Rapids. That was the first mistake. And the artist whose name I couldn't think of is Jasmine Bruce. She's great too. All right, sorry, back to the show. And I know when I look on some of their stuff, I see that you've liked it and they go on your site and I see they've liked some of your stuff. Is there a pretty like tight knit group? Like when people see another artist, they're like, "Yeah, we want to help you out and get you seen too."
Yeah, I'd say like at least in Grand Rapids, definitely. There's definitely a good community there. Not in Jackson so much. Not a lot of people take it very seriously,
Yeah.
but
Well, it doesn't have as many people, and then you also got all the influx of like young people with all the colleges in GR too. That helps,
yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's not quite GR
right?
or Detroit, but yeah, people are pretty supportive of the arts here. I'd say at least the ones that I know.
Yeah. People
But there's not like hangouts
people don't
or
tag
like
murals like this is stupid with.
yeah, no,
Right, right.
no. It's well, there's this Bright Walls. It's a mural festival in Jackson that happens every year,
Oh,
and
I've
that's
never heard of
really
it.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm originally
Very
from the Lansing area too, so not too far from Jackson.
oh nice. Yeah, so if you're ever down in Lansing, shoot down to Jackson.
Yeah.
Um, they just brought in a bunch of muralists and had a little festival, music and everything.
This just
It's just
happened
kind of like
already.
this year it was like a low key thing because
Well, because
of
everything.
COVID,
Yeah.
but they've done it last year and the year before.
Summertime thing.
Yep, yep. Summertime, late August.
So do they just have people go and like work on different spots in the town, or do they like put up walls for people to paint?
Yeah, they give people walls. It's all set up, ready to go for the artists. They get all the contracts and go through the city, and it's organized by a bunch of people that work within the township or people that are associated with that community that works for the city.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice initiative to get it going and get the art scene moving and have people appreciate art more.
Yeah.
Yeah, once COVID like lifts, man, and everybody can just get together again, it's gonna
Dude,
be completely different.
it's been such a bummer, man. Like, I was supposed to have a couple people who were going to be in town over the summer come on the show that lived, in various places around the country, and they all canceled their travel plans. Um, and normally, most people would be like, "Yeah, I'll come in the studio," but now most people are like, "Yeah, I'd rather do it on Zoom."
Yeah, exactly.
And everything has just been weird. Like the musician that I interviewed, they can't they can't do anything. They've been putting out a lot of YouTube videos and
Yeah,
doing some like I guess like Zoom style concerts, which is cool,
weird.
man. It's better than nothing in the absence
Yeah,
of something, um but yeah, it's not the same as like going to an art gallery or going to a concert.
yeah. I can't imagine. Just going to an art gallery sounds like so therapeutic right now.
I I love the fact that Grand Rapids has so much good art too. Because
Yeah,
the only place I haven't been to is the Urban Institute of Contemporary
UICA.
Art. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that place is pretty cool.
yeah. Did
Yeah, you should check it out sometime.
I was gonna ask you too then. Do you know what? I was just thinking about this yesterday when I was editing. I tell people that I'm gonna ask them a question. I gotta stop doing that. um, all right, but I am gonna ask you a question. Do you have any stuff up that people can see in a gallery, or is all your stuff kind of like guerrilla art style right now?
So there's Cascade,
I mean, I know
the
the area.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this restaurant called Sapporo. It's a ramen bar. I have a piece in there on the wall, so you can go get some really good ramen and sit
Ah,
next to one of my pieces.
nice. How'd you get up in
Um,
there?
Dude, it was really, I don't even remember. It was just like one of those things. It was a call for art, and I reached out, and here you go. Here's my art. Like,
When
no
there's
galleries though.
if there's an art thing like that where people are just like, I need an artist, and you're like, I'm an artist. Do you have to show them a portfolio? Do you have to show them like I'm trying to think of the word, not an example, but like some kind of
Yeah,
proof of what you
sketch.
want to do? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's usually people see my work or have seen my work, or somebody refers somebody to me. Then they see my work, they like my work, they reach out to me, and then it just, it starts conversation. And every person I've worked for is different and wants something different. So then I'll go and sketch it out for them, give them one, two, or three sketches. Usually it doesn't take that many,
Yeah.
but I'm willing to work with people. It's always just we got to find something
Like
that you
those
like.
massive
And
hallway jobs. Do you have to show something to them before you do it? Or do they, in a situation like that, just kind of go like, we know what you can do, just do your thing?
yeah, it was more of like people, the people that were trying to get me to do it just needed something to show the higher ups
Mhm.
that showed that I was qualified and had the art skills. Because after I got in there and started going, it was more of like, all right, you can do whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to like draw out a whole hallway for you
Right,
in
right.
a sketch. So
Yeah,
there's a
that's what I
lot
wanted
of
to ask you
things
earlier,
that,
man. Is like, do you have to like almost the way people write out like storyboards for a TV show or something, if you would have to do it that way to make something, or if it was more just kind of organic, like, you know what, just based on what I've got to work with, I think this would look good here.
yeah. So it would have to be either a grid or something similar,
Yeah.
something measured. It's more, I'd say for me, it's freeform, but you could also use a projector and just like have little puzzle pieces, and you projected it here and there and
Yeah.
everywhere. And
But I'm guessing you probably don't because you said you kind of. rejects the whole drawing from reference thing, right?
Yeah, right. It's something. It depends on the person. I think I'll have to eventually, just for time's sake and efficiency, I'm going forward going to start doing that, sketching things out more,
Yeah.
and doing like a scribble grid. Like a scribble grid is where people just go up to a wall and make a bunch of shapes, and then go in digitally and put their sketch over an image of the wall with the scribble shapes on it.
Huh.
So when you're looking at the wall, you can see, oh, the ear of the horse starts at this X and ends at this smiley face down here.
Huh.
So that's how artists usually do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
Measuring it out isn't really.
I've seen people do that with projectors before. The only time that I can think of anybody doing that before was like when you see that forced perspective art. So like,
Yeah,
yeah, so like if
that
anybody
stuff's
doesn't know what I'm
cool.
talking about, if you like were walking from a certain angle on the sidewalk, it would look like if somebody was standing on the last step before the sidewalk that they were about to jump into like the gates of hell, this just giant hole in the ground. But if you walked up from the other side, it would just look like a bunch of colors.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess kind of like that, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really well. The scribble grid isn't, but that is one way that those artists do it.
Yeah.
And
Because otherwise it seems like it would be maddening to try to sort that out in
yeah,
your mind.
well, I did a mural, uh, Halyard construction in Grand Rapids, and for that one, I did use a projector because we were doing buildings and it had a bunch of straight lines, and it was, it's really hard to
Ooh,
do.
is that the one that's all in black and white?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at that one right now too. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that one definitely has a little bit of a different look, like you said, a lot more like clean, straight lines and hard corners and stuff.
Yeah, and that's because I used paint markers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used the Montana paint markers. It's acrylic paint markers.
Okay. And it writes just like a normal like Sharpie or magic marker or whatever?
Yeah, but it's acrylic paint.
And where is that?
That's in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
So that's at Halyard Construction.
Okay, because I'm looking at the one building on there that's the tallest one, and it almost kind of looks like Helen DeVos Hospital.
Yeah, it probably is,
Okay. All
or
right.
something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
those are buildings that they've worked on.
Oh, I see. I see how you put that all together. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
Same thing with the
did you just
Rockford
kinda, like, look
construction one.
through their portfolio and just pick things out? Or how'd you put that together?
No, they just sent me some photos,
Okay.
and then I like did the line work in Photoshop, and
Did they kinda have an idea, like, "We'd like you to artistically represent the stuff that we've built," or did you give them that idea?
dude, they that was my favorite client because they literally just gave me the money and like, here's the wall, here you go, man, like
Yeah.
go for it. But that's the thing, people give me a lot of trust. Like
Yeah.
people trust me, which is really cool. They have confidence in me and see that I know what I'm doing, and they don't like what I'm doing, then I have the communication skills to like figure it out and like work
Yeah.
through the problems. Because a lot of art is like being a people person and being able to solve problems and work with a client.
Yeah. Yeah, especially yeah, when you're working in the commission world, yeah.
Yeah, when you're doing the freelance type of stuff or type of life, and or you could be in a studio, and there's a lot of different things that you can do as an
So,
artist.
I'm curious, have you ever painted something on a commission, like a mural or whatever, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I don't really like that. Can you change it?" Or are most people like, "Cool, thanks."
Yeah, dude, there's actually this project I just finished. Um, I did this woman's business cards, and she is a hassle client to begin with, but I did her sign, and she said she wanted her logo on it. So I like went and I painted her logo, and I painted it to the best of my ability. It's a square sign, and the person was too big, so I like changed it a million times and fixed it so many times. so many times. And at the end of it, she was just like, you know what? Let's just call it and go our separate ways. So we did. And I like,
Dang.
yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Um,
I was gonna say, man,
that
what do you do as an artist when somebody's just like, "I'm sorry, your best isn't good enough"? Does that hurt, or are you just
well,
like, whatever?
well, I understood why it happened. It was a bunch of miscommunication, and I thought I could revive this sketch that I had started with,
Yeah,
and the font. I'm not good with handwriting, but I tried anyway, and I told her I wasn't gonna be able to do it. I was like, order vinyl because it's gonna look like shit. Because I'm not getting paid enough to sit there and like sketch all day
right,
and
right, right.
do this hand painted sign. So I get it all done, and it looks what I thought to be good for a hand painted sign.
Yeah,
And um, I'll send you a picture of it right now.
and she thought otherwise.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it.
All right. Oh man, that's making me nervous because I just signed up with a new client for doing some freelance writing for, and they ordered not just one project, but like a grouping. So I'm going to write several things for them. I want to make sure that I get the tone right. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to have
Yeah,
be like, yeah,
yeah,
man, this is no good. Because not only is it sting your ego as a as a creative
it
person,
does, dude.
I don't like it. But
No.
every time you have to go and do a second draft, that's half the money per hour that you're making.
Yeah, so that's why you always, as an artist, ask for money down. Because if I didn't ask for money down, I would have been out like $200,
Yeah.
like $300,
Plus all the time you
just
wasted
in
that you could have been doing something else.
exactly. Because I drove there every day for like a week. Had to buy like a gallon of paint, just stuff like that. It adds up.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Just
sure.
like getting the snack from the gas station so I don't die out here.
Right,
Like that stuff adds up.
yeah. Like I said, we got
I gotta get
Arcade
some dinner
Constraint
going.
pushing up on us here pretty soon.
Where do
Man,
you record at?
actually, the studio that we're in right now, it's my producer's home studio that he has out of his basement.
Oh, sick.
And he's got 2 shows that he hosts and 3 that he produces. And right now, Hey Guys Media Group, which
Okay.
you'll hear again in the show outro. Hey Guys Media Group, they're looking for a what do you call it? An actual commercial building right now to do their stuff out of. But
Cool.
yeah, the studio they've gotten here is pretty sweet.
I'll have to come back on this podcast in the studio because
Oh,
that looks so much fun.
yeah, dude, it's a good time. It's a good time for sure. Oh,
Yeah,
here we go. I just got your picture too. Let's check this out.
that was the sign that she hated oh so much.
I mean, really?
It's the words, it's the font that really had her like pissed.
I mean, I think the picture looks awesome. If you didn't like the font, well, you said that you already went a couple rounds on the font with her, right?
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, we went so many different rounds. I covered it up so many times. But that's the name of the game. That's how it goes, especially in graphic design.
I guess, yeah, somebody's got an idea in their head and they can't quite communicate it.
Yeah, there's a lot of miscommunication,
Yeah.
especially when people don't know art terms and how to express their idea in a way that an artist
Oh
could
no. How many
understand.
times have people said, "What I want is something like this, this, and this," and as they're describing it, you're just like trying not to wince in their face, like, "Dude, that sounds terrible."
Dude, oh my God, it's this lady. I'm telling you. I just sent you a photo of that was that client. I swear to God, it was. I
Everything she
I
asks
can
for, you're just
send
like,
you
"I'll do
more.
it," but you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my good Lord, I was about to like throw up.
And I mean, I can see somebody being like, "Hey, I asked for this, and you didn't quite give it to me." But the sign doesn't look like it's more than like 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, dude, it's 4x4.
4 by 4. Okay.
And
So I mean, there's
when I show you the logo, you'll see. Like,
only so much you can do.
I don't know. Anyway, man,
Yep.
you
No,
said
we've
six
been
forty-five. You had to be
we've been
out.
at this for about an hour. But
Nice,
yeah, man,
cool, man.
touch, and one of these days we'll actually meet in person.
Yeah, I'm always out that way.
Cool, man.
I'll
Yeah,
get a
I'd
hold
love
of
to
you.
get you in the studio sometime. So
All right.
good
It was
luck
nice
with
to
your
meet you.
teaching, man. If you ever have any teaching questions, if I can help you out, just let me know.
Yeah, dude. Take it easy.
Take care. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you should check out Hey Guys Media Group at heyguysmediagroup.com. They help me put this show together. They help me keep it going. They keep it sounding nice. Go check them out. heyguysmediagroup.com. Let them help you make your podcast.